Continuing on Regional King, round 1, we got a stellar matchup in Kanto versus Kalos. Kanto side of the field throws out Clefable and Cloyster, as Kalos throws out none other than Klefki and Malamor. Or Ramalam, that's a decent nickname right there. Shout out to your mom's crib. Getting back on track. These are two interesting leads. Redirection comes out of the Clefable spot, becoming the center of attention as a Shell Smash comes out of this Cloyster. This has a lot of potential to do a lot of damage. Platinum has history with Cloyster, as it is an old friend, and Gummy has history of being destroyed by it. Its white orb brings its lowered stats back to normal, and Super Power is going to come out of the Malamar spot, interesting enough, into the Clefable spot. It is going to heighten its attack and defense at the same time. Gummy probably chose the Clefable spot, thinking maybe Protect might come out of the Cloyster in turn 1. This Klefki is very interesting, as it is a pure supporter set that does actually have a little bit of damage potential, but its primary job is just to support. It really can bring Kalos a lot of success if utilized correctly, as Redirection comes back out of the Clefable spot, while Cloyster is not going next because obviously the Prankster status move is going to go and reflect. Knocks off the Clefable's item, as Icicle Sphere, that's not a sphere, Icicle Spear is going to come out into the Malamar spot. I feel like I am so behind. Everything is happening so quick. Going into this next turn, does Malamar continue to boost its damage? Is there actually going to be a KO taken? This has gone super slow so far, despite me fumbling over my words and not really knowing what's going on, as Redirection comes out of the Clefable again, and Super Power is going to go into the Clefable, and I realized I made a blunder earlier on. Obviously, the Clefable took the Super Power earlier due to Follow Me. Cloyster is continuing to Shell Smash up, wanting extra damage potential, as it realized it wasn't doing enough damage to begin with. So far, this is a very low-powered match. Not really a lot going on either side of the field, as this Clefable continues to get weak, as it continues to take chip damage from just Redirection. And really, Cloyster is not really taking a lot of damage either, although all things considered, Klefki has done a decent amount of damage, considering it is not a primarily known for its damage-dealing capabilities. Redirection comes out yet again into the Clefable spot. All moves, except for spread moves, will go into it again. Clefable is continuing to get chipped down, as Super Power is raising the defense and attack of this Malamar continuously. Dazzling Gleam comes out, almost taking out both Mons. They are on very low health, as this Icicle Spear is going to almost take out Malamar, but it only hit 3 times. Still, many turns into this battle, no Pokemon is dead yet. This turn, it's going to change that. Pokemon are going to have to pass this turn, hopefully. Are we going to get on with this tournament? Somebody has to take somebody out, as we wait on Platinum to make his decision on the Kanto squad. Will he decide to take out Malamar or not, as Helping Hand goes into the Cloyster spot, as Ishod is going to not take out Malamar, as Cloyster finally goes down, as attack and defense is raising pointlessly for Malamar. At this point, Cloyster is the first tragic death of this match as Dazzling Link goes into the clefable spot. What is going on? The biggest damage dealer of this forced match is Klefki. Oh my gosh, I am hysterical. I did not know this happened / remembered from. It's been months since this has happened as Big Power Dragonite and more defensive utility of Electabuzz comes out onto the Kanto side of the field. Will they really be able to do enough against this Klefki? Klefki hasn't even been damaged! It is just sitting there, happily jingling itself on through this match, continuing to support this Malibor that is on 4 HP just sitting there. Extreme Speed is obviously going to go out into the Malibor. That crit was necessary, guys. It was necessary to get that 4 damage. Absolutely necessary. Taunt is going to go into the Klefki spot, making 3 of its 4 moves completely useless. It can now only do regular damage. It cannot do Trick Room now. What does Gummy have in store for this? An interesting nickname for that Sylveon. Oh, yes, this match has gone very interesting and honestly quite long. We are 6.5 minutes into this set, and it's still the fourth battle. I cannot believe it. It has not actually wrapped up yet. Klefki goes back to Gummy's bag as Waste of Time, the Gastrodon, comes out, which is an interesting nickname. We'll have to interview Gummy at some point, maybe, and he'll maybe give us the information of why that nickname is. Wait, I am Gummy. Okay, continuing on. Dragonite is going to Terrasilize into normal for defensive purposes and to boost the power of Extreme Speed, but primarily considering at the time of the beginning of this tournament was staring across the field of 2 fairies, it's probably just mainly a defensive choice here, as Sylveon Terrasilize into the fairy type. We know Sylveon is capable of massive damage. Electabuzz becomes the center of attention, move redirection. Extreme Speed is going to go into the Sylveon slot, not doing enough to even do half damage, as Hyper Voice comes out of the Sylveon slot, doing massive damage into the Dragonite, despite it not being super effective, and decent damage into the Electabuzz. But oh wait! The Throat Spray has boosted the special attack of this Sylveon. This puts Kalos kind of in an advantaged spot, because we know that it's going to be able to survive, barring a critical hit does not happen, as Electabuzz smartly uses Protect to survive just a little bit longer, and so does Dragonite. Not just for survival, but for scouting, because Plat probably doesn't know what's going on, and it is understandable, a strategic choice to try to figure that out. This happens to everyone. It's a very great strategy. And stalling out potential moves. But now knowing the state of the field just a little tiny bit better, what will Plat do? Will Plat be able to survive the onslaught of damage coming from this Sylveon? Or will he be able to not? And the match will finally end. We're over 9 minutes now, guys. This is insane. Extreme Speed is going to come out into the Sylveon slot, and no critical hit was landed, so therefore it is still alive. Taunt is going to come out into the Waste of Time, the Goodra spot, so it cannot do life dues, but guess what? Draco Meteor is coming out instead. Draco Meteor is going to take out the Dragonite, lowering the special attack of this Goodra. But Dragonite, the big bad damage dealer, is no more. Sylveon can just run free and use Hyper Voice as it wants, as it's going to take out the Electabuzz in one shot. Well, I mean, not really one shot, because it had pre-damage, but the match is over for this individual one. Nearing almost 10 minutes. That was long. Let's go into the next one. Oh, Kanto versus Kalos. This has been interesting so far, as it is clearly much later on in the day. Electabuzz, Cloyster, and Sylveon and Klefki, all the leads. We know there's a lot of damage potential on this Kalos side, and honestly, we know there is damage potential on the Kanto side, even though it didn't really get to showcase that. And move redirection is really clutch with this Electabuzz set, but honestly, this Sylveon doesn't care about move redirection, as Sylveon is going to go ahead and Terrasilize into the Fairy type for extra damage, as we love. Taunt is going to go into the Klefki spot, making it to a Klefki can't really support Sylveon in this exact moment, as Shell Smash is going to go out of the Cloyster spot, obviously lowering its defense and special defense, but we know it has Wide Orb, so it's going to get those back and boosting its damage output in its attack and special attack, and obviously its speed too. Will this be enough for Cloyster to be actually do anything? Oh my gosh! Dazzling Gleam comes out of the Klefki spot. It knew it was going to be taunted, and Sylveon goes ahead and uses Hyper Voice, taking out the Cloyster and doing decent damage to the Electabuzz, and we know its special attack is going to be heightened from the Throat Spray, which, if you can tell in my voice, I probably need one of those right now, as I have been under the weather, so to speak. The weather's always around me. I don't get why we say under the weather. But Dragonite is going to come out on the Kanto side of the field. Will it be able to Terrasilize normal and do enough damage to this Sylveon? Will it be able to use Iron Head potentially to take out this Sylveon in one shot? We really truly do not know what it might be capable of or might not be capable of, as Klefki is removed from the field and Goodra comes out yet again in this second match. Terrasilization is going to be chosen on the Dragonite spot. Terra Normal, most likely to boost the power of Extreme Speed. Psych! It's going to use Protect to probably just scout out what is going on here. Electro Web is going to lower the speed. That is quite a good utility move from Electabuzz. That is why Electabuzz is chosen. It is a very great bulky utility mon. As Sylveon is going to go ahead and use its spread move that I've gone brain dead on and go ahead and take out that Electabuzz. I've been doing this commentary for too long tonight, but nonetheless, Platinum goes ahead and replaces Electabuzz with Clefable, continuing on the theme of supporting and move redirection, which is obviously supporting. It's very useful. Will this Dragonite be able to do enough damage onto the Sylveon to make it stop doing so much damage in return, as Helping Hand is going to come out, doubling the damage coming out of this Dragonite spot. Extreme Speed is going to go into the Sylveon slot, and it is not enough. Sylveon lives on 22 HP. Life Dew is going to come out of the Goodra spot, healing both itself back up just a little bit and healing up Sylveon a little bit more, as Hyper Voice is going to come out and do massive damage, almost taking out Dragonite and doing more than decent chip into Clefable. Does Kanto have enough staying power to get rid of this Sylveon, or is Sylveon going to run away with the match? I believe, if I'm mathematically correct here, Sylveon is pretty much guaranteed to be gone this turn due to Extreme Speed, although honestly its HP range might be well enough. As Extreme Speed is going to come out, we are going to find out. It is gone! Sylveon is no more. It doesn't have a chance for its third right. That was a bad commentary joke under the circumstance. That wasn't funny. Life Dew is going to heal up this Clefable and this Dragonite a little more, taking from the same playbook as this Goodra, who's going to use Sludge Bomb into the Dragonite spot, doing more than decent chip damage into it. Klefki is going to come out on Gummy's side of the field. Kalos still has the advantage as far as number of Pokemon. And Kanto is quite damaged with its 2 Pokemon left. 3 fully healthy Pokemon versus 2 damaged Pokemon. But we know Dragonite has a lot of damage potential. Will it be able to take out Kalos as it goes ahead and uses Protect to last a little bit longer on this field, as Life Dew is going to continuously heal to maybe give them enough staying power? Sludge Bomb is going to go into the Dragonite spot, but it's protected so it does no damage. As Trick Room is going to come out on Kalos' side of the field, enhancing the speed of this Goodra. But we know Dragonite has extreme speed. It doesn't really necessarily matter or care about the Trick Room unless it's going to hit a move other than extreme speed, then it does. Helping Hand is going to come out of the Clefable into the Dragonite. As we see, Dragonite is going to go ahead and use that Helping Hand boosted Tail Normal Extreme Speed to do massive damage, but not enough damage, as a berry is procced. Specifically, the Citrus Berry is procced by the Goodra. Reflect comes out. I don't think Kanto has enough damage potential here as Sludge Bomb comes out into the Dragonite. Again, Kanto really doesn't seem like it can do anything. I guess Kanto can continue to protect this Dragonite to try to see if it can continue to survive and do enough damage in return, but with this Reflect, it's noodled. It's not going to be able to hit hard enough. Sludge Bomb is going to go into the Clefable spot, calling out the Protect, and an unlucky poison happens to the Clefable, putting this Clefable on a timer as Life Dew continues to heal itself and Dragonite up. Again, does Kanto have enough staying power? Dazzling Gleam is going to come out. Dragonite's still going to take no damage, but this Clefable is going to take just a little tiny bit of chip, as it takes also a little tiny bit more chip from poison. Especially with an extra Mon in the back on the Kalos side of the field, I don't think Kanto has enough staying power. Helping Hand is going to come out into the Dragonite spot yet again, as we expect a Tail Normal Extreme Speed to go into the Goodra spot, and it doesn't do enough. Draco Meteor is going to come out, and it is enough damage to take out the Dragonite. Dragonite is out. Kanto is on its last leg with Clefable to stay alive in this tournament. It looks like it's going to be a forced round exit as a critical hit. Dazzling Gleam comes out, proccing the Iapa Berry? Figgy Berry. I don't know my berries. And, no shot. He didn't know. It got confused because he didn't know his Clefable didn't like that berry or something. I can't remember how that mechanic works. But to add insult to injury, this Clefable is poisoned, damaged, can't really do anything for damage. Apologies to the sponsors. And on top of that, it's confused. And it's continuing to take chip poison damage. While we have a fully healthy Klefki that can continue to support and do a little bit extra chip damage. And we have this Goodra who can use Sludge Bomb for super effective. It brings it down to very low HP. This Clefable, it's confused. Will it be able to hit through confusion? It survives. It uses Life Dew to survive that much longer. Dazzling Gleam comes out and does significant chip, all things considered, and the poison damage appears. It's going to take out Clefable. Clefable was not able to survive that turn. And this is a first round exit for Kanto as Kalos moves on to the second round. As always, thank you for watching, everybody. My voice is going out. I'm under the weather. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment something you loved about this match. We're on to round 2, guys. Let's go!